Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Quick thanks first to Access Softek for supporting this deep dive. They're really pioneers in digital banking solutions. So today we're unpacking something huge, a financial shift that's, well, truly monumental. We're talking about the great wealth transfer. And when I say great, I really mean the scale. It's almost hard to grasp. Over the next, 20 years or so, we're looking at $84 trillion in assets. 84 trillion, moving from the silent and boomer generations down to their kids, their grandkids. Just think about that number for a second.
It's staggering, isn't it? And, this isn't just some minor trend. We're genuinely talking about the largest wealth transfer in recorded history, full stop. And understanding it, really understanding its mechanics is so important for you, the listener. It impacts your own financial life, potentially, and definitely the institutions you interact with. The critical thing here isn't just the amount, but how it's moving. It's going to a generation with fundamentally different expectations about banking, which brings up a really urgent point for financial institutions, particularly credit unions.
Yeah.
How do they secure this next generation? That's the core challenge. Think about it. The average credit union member today is, 53 years old?
Right. That's not young in demographic terms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we also know from surveys that adult children, they often don't want to bank where their parents do.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want your own financial independence. Right?
Precisely. It's a natural tendency, but one that institutions can easily overlook. So if the people inheriting this massive wealth aren't already members or aren't brought in,
It becomes a huge risk for the credit unions.
an existential risk, potentially.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really a make or break moment. If they don't build these relationships now, they're not just missing out on future customers, they're risking the foundation of their long-term survival. They beat a strategy, like yesterday.
Okay, that lays out the challenge very clearly. So this proactive strategy you mentioned, what does that actually involve for these credit unions? What needs to change on the ground?
Well, it really boils down to one key thing: ensuring the children and grandchildren of their current members become members themselves. And a massive part of making that happen involves a shift, a pivot, towards offering the kind of investment options this younger generation actually wants and uses.
Right. So we're moving beyond just standard checking and savings accounts here.
Definitely.
What kinds of tools are we talking about? What's essential to engage them?
We're talking of things like a robo advisor.
Hmm.
That caters to that digital-first self-service preference, often lower barriers to entry, too.
Okay, robo-advisors. Makes sense. What else?
Also enabling self-directed digital investing. This speaks directly to that desire for control, for autonomy over their finances. They want to be in the driver's seat.
Got it. Control is key.
And yes, even integrating a crypto solution.
Crypto too. Interesting.
Yeah, you have to recognize the interest in alternative assets among these younger groups. It's there. These aren't just, nice to haves or trends. They're pretty essential tools for bridging that generational gap and actually connecting with these future wealth holders.
So a pretty fundamental shift in offerings is needed. Robo-advisors, self-directed options, even crypto.
That's the core of it, yes. Adapting the toolkit.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, something for you, the listener, to think about. What could this massive shift in wealth actually mean for the financial institutions you use? Or maybe even more personally, how might it influence the way you plan your own financial future?
It's a huge wave coming, and the ripples are going to be felt for a long, long time, affecting how we save, how we invest, pretty much everything.
It really reshapes the landscape. Worth keeping a close eye on.